What up, Footbap Nation? I'm your host, Brandon, with my co-host Paul. What up?
What up?
And we're joined by a special guest this week on the Fantasy Footbap recap. Uh, the man who's assembled the perfect team more times than anyone else in this fantasy league. The 2018 runner-up to the champion, Mikey B. What's up, Mike?
Hey guys, it's me, Mike. Just kidding. What's up?
All right, let's get into the games from this past week. We got a lot of fun stuff planned for you guys. Isn't that right, Mike?
Oh, all sorts of fun stuff.
Hell yeah.
All right, so first off, first game that we're going to look at is what we said was going to be the matchup of the week, which was me versus Gorman, which was a complete a fucking disaster for me. Gorman pretty much wiped the floor with me. I can't believe that this is taking this long to load right now. All right. I lost 172 to 110. I mean, there's really nothing to take away from this, to be honest. Gorman's still on a tear. I mean, clearly the best team in the league. Do you guys both agree with that?
Yeah. Didn't even have Waddle or like any Dolphins players and still put up that. It's crazy.
He had the number one quarterback,
I
the
def-
number one running back, like a top three receiver, probably the number one defense again. But what were you saying, Mike?
So I definitely just looking at his team. Like obviously he's starting the year very well. Nick Chubb, I've had him the last couple years. He'll score so well for you, but the injuries are always very iffy with him. There was a point last year where I was winning almost every time he was in my lineup and then losing every time he was out.
That's good analysis,
We
Michael.
love Nick
He didn't
Chubb.
even start Tua, and I mean he had the top two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He had Michael Thomas on the bench. He's stacked. There's nothing I could have done to win this game. Next up is, let's see, we got Dave versus Austin, a close matchup right here. Dave squeaking away a victory by 4 points. Paul, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah. James Robinson, clear RB1. But even with Justin Jefferson not doing much, I'm surprised Dave pulled it off. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, impressive win by Dave, who we thought might have had a weaker team this year, but I mean he's proven our asses wrong. Austin got 25 points from the Bucks defense and still lost. That's a bad look, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't even notice.
Nothing Austin could have done there. Dave had guys popping off on the bench. I mean, Dave's 2-0, right there with Gorman. I mean, just an impressive first couple weeks for Dave. Next up, we got Paul in the biggest blowout of the week, even bigger than mine, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, Nick didn't even start Keenan. Paul, walk me through what was going through your head Thursday night when you saw Nick was playing someone who wasn't playing.
I was very excited, and then I dropped a full dollar on Kenyon Drake, which pretty much evened it out, so it's all right.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, I guess this wouldn't have been as big of a blowout if it weren't for like Stephon Diggs. But I mean, I think Judy got injured in that game. Schultz got injured in that game.
Yeah.
Nick just had like multiple guys getting hurt. That's about it. I mean, that's a good win for Paul. Mike, do you think that's a good win for Paul, or do you think Paul got lucky?
I suspect Paul could have tried to lose that week and still probably would have won.
Damn. Talking trash to Nick. And then here we go. Another close matchup. Steve, if you guys remember last week, fell victim to Mikey B himself on a miracle Monday night comeback. Mike, you won by like, what, 0.2 points?
It was less than a point. I know that.
The Monday night miracle. Before we get to this game, Mike, I've been meaning to ask you. We were going to have you on last week. We just want to run through what was going through the mind of Mr. Mike and during that Monday night game. Russell Wilson at the helm for you, and you needed 17-something points from him. What were you thinking?
To be honest, I had kind of resigned myself to defeat for that week because I did not suspect that I would. Because Steve had Metcalf playing still, so I looked at it like more like I needed Wilson to score at least 20 because I figured Metcalf would be Metcalf. But, at the end of the day, I was thrilled to win. And sometimes dumb luck helps you win in fantasy. That's all I can say about that.
Mike, do you have any thoughts on Steve's team? I mean, do you think your team is clearly better than Steve's? Is there anything you want Steve to know right now on the air?
To be honest, I think Steve's top few players, Taylor, Allen, even probably Jones to an extent, are better than some of my top guys. I feel I have a deeper team than Steve, and I hope that'll pay off later in the year.
I mean, it paid off week 1 when you smoked his ass. I guess you didn't smoke his ass, but when you pulled out a late victory, that comes from the deepness of your team right there. The extensiveness of your
Yeah,
roster really showed.
if you scroll down a little bit,
Uh-huh.
you'll see Steve had one guy on his bench score more than 10 points. I think I had 3 or 4 guys on my bench scored nearly 10 or over 10.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're saying you could have beat his ass even harder and embarrassed him, but you let him off easy, is what you're saying.
I mean, this is a warning to the Vietnamese farmers. We're coming. No,
All right.
it was a great win, but yeah, Steve's got a great team.
Yeah, but I mean, Steve got back on track this week. I mean, it would have been embarrassing if the 2-time champ would have started off 0-2, right, Paul?
Right. And what I'm just looking at right now is Steve's team. You think he should, moving forward, bench Metcalf for Jahan Dotson since he's just a touchdown machine so far?
Yeah, honestly, if I were Steve, I would probably play Jahan Dotson. I mean, but what's going to happen there is that the second that he benches DK Metcalf, he's going to catch like an 80-yard touchdown next week. So,
right.
But I would probably start Dotson just because he has been putting up points. I mean, Metcalf, he hasn't done good, but 5 points isn't full blown losing you weeks. It's at least giving you more than Darnell Mooney has gotten the last 2 weeks of
if Kyle
literally
Pitts
zero.
Was normal at all, Kyle would have won. That's the thing.
Yeah, that had to be Kyle's. Let's see, does it say where he took him? Took him in the 5th round. Okay, that's not too bad. Some people were taking him in the 3rd, but yeah, that's disappointing. I mean, to get the miracle points from Tyreek, the miracle points from Hurts on Monday night, those performances are I mean, that hurts. And who would have thought to play Tony Pollard? I mean, Kyle did what he could. He's 1-1, so he's in a good spot anyways. But yeah, Steve coming away with a win right there. And then Pinhead, we talked about your amazing victory last week, and now you come back with an absolute dud. Mike, walk me through what happened this week for you.
So if you look, Evans, I believe he ended up getting ejected from the game early. So that could, I mean, right there, that could have been a few more points. Jamar Chase, Burrow's been playing like shit to start, so of course it's going to affect Chase. But Burrow's got natural talent. Chase has natural talent. Jamar Chase is younger than everyone in this fantasy league. He's going to bounce back.
So you're not worried at all then about anything that happened this week? It's just a down week for Mikey B.
Well, I mean, look at it this way. I started Patterson, kind of flipping a coin, starting him. And look, I mean, if you scroll down, I had DJ Moore in double digits, Adam Thielen and whatever the hell his last name is, 7, Lockett 15, my backup tight end scored more, and Myers, New England's arguably number 1 wide receiver, started to come to life. I'm not super worried. I mean, I got guys on the bench who are producing. I got to tinker around. I love my lineups. I love the depth I have.
I agree. You have actually pretty insane depth here. All these guys are performing well. It just wasn't your week. And I think even if you had guys that stepped up, I mean, Dewey dropped 150, so there's not much you could have done anyways.
Not only that, the Browns defense. I mean, the Browns literally died against the Jets. I don't know what happened. So that goose egg is not going to be hopefully consistent.
Yeah. Now, Paul, do you have any advice for Mike or anything happening with Mike's team that you want to, let him know right now?
Just depends how much you trust Cordell Patterson. If you're going to keep him each week in or out, that's the toss-up, really.
He's already moved out for next week.
Okay. all right.
Oh, a little preview for Mike.
then,
Okay.
Yeah.
I think-
Are you
Go
throwing
ahead.
DJ Moore in? Is that what you're gonna do?
Well, I think really for my team, when you look at how similar the similarities from of the scoring from like my bench to my starting lineup, like in terms of their average, you just got to go with who's hot right now and hope that they stay hot.
That's true. And you rolled with the
Gotcha.
hot hand this week, and it bit you in the ass with Cordero Patterson.
Yeah, and I mean it could do that. And Patterson next week could score 30, but I think I just got to keep rolling with the hot hand, and that's my best chance of it paying off eventually.
All right. And now that we've kind of gone through what happened this past week, we're going to look at the standings real quick, how everything's shaping up in the league. Gorman stays on top in the East 2-0, and then Dave on top in the West 2-0, and then everyone is 1-1 besides Austin and Nick, who are both 0-2. Austin losing a close one this week. He could have been 1-1. But I mean, the standings are close right now. I think Gorman has the most points on the year. Yeah, Gorman number 1 by a lot. That's pretty insane. And then also the least scored on, but who cares? And then the most scored on, I guess, are me and Austin. Mike, you're right up there too. Paul, second least scored on. I mean, is there anything more classic than that, Paul?
I can't control that. And Nick's team putting up 57 in week 2. That's just dragging me down.
Is Gorman the least scored against?
Yeah,
Yeah,
by
I don't
2
know how.
points.
I don't know
Only.
What happened in week 1? Oh, that was
That's-
me. Never mind.
That is kind of
Yeah,
crazy. How much? Oh, but you put up like 80 though, right, or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's actually disgusting for how many points his team puts up.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty. To be honest, if I would have just stuck in my gut and taken Mooney out and played Damian Harris, it still wouldn't be a lot of points scored on. But either way, that was the standings. Let's go to the power rankings, Mike. Let's see what they had to say. So even though Gorman's starting out impressive, they think that Dave's the number 1 in the league and Gorman's number 2. I mean, whichever way you flip it there, whatever. They actually think that Steve is going to finish 3rd, Kyle finishing 4th, Austin finishing 5th, and he's 0-2. What the actual hell is happening right now? Dewey 0-2? Oh no, Dewey's 1-1, finishing 6th. 7th is me. Fuck you. Nick finishing 8th. Nick 0-2, finishing above Mike and Paul.
don't understand.
You guys are both the bottom 2. What are your guys? Paul, what are your thoughts on being projected to finish literally last at this point? You're last in the power rankings.
Learning by Kenyon Drake being projected 13 points last week and putting up 0.8, these projections mean nothing to me, so I just don't listen to them.
Okay, Mike, how do you feel about being 9th after such an outstanding victory week 1, and now no respect were given? What are your thoughts?
Well, if you look at my fantasy team, my first round pick is one of my lower scoring players, Harris on the Steelers. So
never trust a Steeler. That you've said that before many times, Mike. But you didn't trust your own words, huh?
Many women said that to Ben Roethlisberger as well. My point is that I think when you base it on that, like, yeah, there's a chance I could finish low, but there's still going to be injuries. There's guys are going to get hot and cold. What appeals to me about Najee Harris in particular, even though he's starting off slow, he's not a guy who gets hurt and misses a lot of games, which is what helped you do really well last year with Aaron Jones on the Packers. I don't think he missed a single game.
I think he
I'm not
did
saying
miss a
you-
few games, but
Okay,
Eckler missed a game. Eckler played like most games. I think he only missed one.
I guess my point is, and I'm not saying you won just because you had guys that play a lot of games. That helps, but when you pick guys who have a consistently good health report year in, year out, it helps your team, which is why I suspect Gorman's team could start to falter if Chubb gets hurt, which he's done year in, year out. He misses a handful
So
of
what you're
games.
telling us is you're not worried about Najee Harris's Liz Frank injury in the slightest. It's not gonna. You don't think that's gonna come back to bite him at any point.
Well, he played a full game last week.
He played a full game this week too. So
that's what I meant by this week.
All right. I mean, I was only asking because I just wondering your thoughts, but I'm sure you two aren't happy being down here in the power rankings, but it's enough with the fucking stupid ESPN power rankings that make no sense. We're on to week 3. In week 3, we're going to start out with my matchup since I'm at the top here. It's me versus Nick, a rivalry as old as time. Beat me in the championship game 2 years ago because I benched Myles Gaskin and Tom Brady, who combined for 60 points. Brutal loss. And now I'm here to get my revenge on him. I mean, nothing can compare to the championship game, but I'd like to win this game. Start off 2-1. Yeah, I mean, maybe Nick will have some guys get hurt. He's got like Keenan questionable and stuff, Judy, Schultz, and I might get lucky then. But I mean, I have Herbert questionable and Pittman questionable, so I think this can honestly go either way. I hope I can get a Nick repeat of what happened with Paul, but I don't know if my luck is as strong as Paul's. Paul, can you just like Venmo me some luck right now?
I can give you some tips. You just hope everyone sucks and it eventually works. So.
All right. I'm going to take your advice on that one. Let's see. I mean, just looking at some of the matchups, Dalvin versus Detroit, that's hopefully he can get back on track. I got Saquon Monday night. I don't think anything here is really like jumping out at me right now. I might switch my defense. I'm not really sure. Next up, Paul, we got your matchup. You versus defending champ Steve, the Vietnamese farmers. What do you like about your matchup? What don't you like?
Well, we're throwing back in Dameon Pierce.
He's back. He's back like he never left.
We'll see how that goes. Okay, so carries wise, he had 15, and Rexburg had a 1 last week. So I don't know what week 1 meant, but apparently nothing. Now that what's his name? Yeah, 15. So he's back on top apparently, just not pass catching wise, but hopefully he'll get in the end zone. Just give me some free points there. That's what I'm banking on really. Besides that, he'll maybe score 4 points if he doesn't. But that's the true point, make or break. And Juju, if he continues being shit for some reason, that could be another thing.
And I ask a question?
Yeah, what's up?
Is the Steelers' hot start on defense a fluke, or are they the real deal?
Well, they've been really good for a couple of years, so probably.
Well,
I mean, to be honest, so week 1 against the Bengals, like, I mean, they're a good defense. They're gonna have games like that. Week 2 against the Patriots just suck. Yeah, I mean, the Patriots.
2 points against the Patriots, though. So it's not
I thought we were talking about real life defense. You talking about fantasy, Mike?
Oh, I meant in terms of their point production.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. So yeah, a huge week against Cincy, which was kind of fluky, and then 2 points against New England. I mean, it's a defense. Who knows what's going to happen? They play the Browns. I mean, they'll probably have a good week against the Browns. Let's be honest.
So my I hope not. My only thought with that is that the Bengals were pretty highly criticized for resting most of their starters, like the whole preseason. So, and
you're saying that the reason for the Bengals like slow start is because of which I think there's some truth behind that. Teams that bench their starters in the preseason, they kind of have come out slow. So I think you're right.
Not only that, they're young. It's not like they have Tom Brady at quarterback. I mean, they have a very young team. It makes very little sense for them not to get as much experience as possible.
Yeah, so I guess we'll figure out who the Steelers are this week then, but I don't know, Paul, anything you're afraid of on this roster? I mean, I honestly am probably afraid of like most of the people he's starting. Yeah, he has Dotson in too, like we said.
Oh, wow. Maybe he's listening. But
you know he's listening. He listens to everything.
I don't know. Only thing Aaron Jones and Jonathan Taylor could combine for 80 points or something.
That's what I was thinking. Honestly, these three, Allen, Taylor, and Jones, honestly could combine for 90 points in any given week. So, yeah, we'll see. I think your game's going to be close unless Stephon Diggs like has a down week or something. But mixing against the Jets, dude, he might have 30 points. This should be a good game.
I hope so.
That's a good game. I wonder what our game of the week is going to be. But next up, we got Gorman versus Austin. Honestly, you don't think about these two guys playing each other too much. I don't know if there's been any instant classics that have come out of it. Can you think of any, Paul?
No.
I mean, this might be an upset to look out for. Austin 0-2. Everyone's counting him out. The projections are counting him out. Gorman 2-0, off to the hottest start in Gorman history. we're gonna have to watch out for this one. Obviously Gorman's team is just performing insane. We'll see if James Conner plays or not. Austin not getting a lot of production out of CMC. I mean, what's more to even say about this game? I just think Gorman's defending his crown at the top right now, trying to stay in that undefeated zone, and Austin's just trying to hold on for dear life. Mike, what do you think the outcome of this game is going to be? Who do you think's going to win? No analysis, just from the gut.
From the gut,
Yeah.
I think Gorman's going to keep steamrolling. He's been on
Paul?
fire.
Yep.
What about you?
Gorman going to start off like 8-0 at least.
Oh, yeah, Gorman's just on a roll. So I think we all, Austin, you got your work cut out for you this week. Not that he has a bad squad, but going against a powerhouse like Gorman.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah, go
Austin
for it.
Austin could score well this week and still lose.
Yeah, exactly. Anything's possible, but the Watermelon Fiend is fiending for another dub. And now, now this is what I like to see. This is the classic fantasy Footbap classic game right here. Mike versus Dave. Oh my god! And we're only in week 3. This is a treat, Mike. Mike, walk me through how you're feeling ahead of this matchup. You are projected to get outscored at every position, but Jeff Wilson Jr.
Well, ever since I moved to Avon Lake in 7th grade, I'm used to texting Dave every Sunday and talking shit to him.
Okay.
So about the Steelers.
So it's going to be no different this week with the fantasy shit talk.
No. I think in Wentz, I have a guy who's kind of hitting the ground running this year. I'm hoping he can keep up that momentum. Dave is going to be in a very tough position this week. As you know, Dave is a avid Steelers fan, and I have Najee Harris. So he's and Harris is playing Cleveland. Dave is in a very, very tough spot this week, but so am I. It's going to be an emotional week for us.
This is gonna. I know that the tension is high between you guys. The emotions are high. I mean, this is the game that you look forward to every year. Isn't that right, Mike?
Yeah, well, and I'm not going to lie. Dave might be favored by 15 points. That doesn't mean shit in this matchup.
Oh, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, they're projecting Wentz to get 16, and we've seen him score 30 the last 2 weeks. Anything can happen in fantasy football, baby.
Absolutely. I mean, even Ertz. I mean, if the better Murray does, it's funny enough, on Dave's team, the better Murray does, Ertz could squeak out some extra points.
Mike, what do you think the outcome of this game is going to be? Are you taking home the dub, or is Dave getting off to a 3-0 start?
Well, if I'm talking shit, of course I'll smack Dave.
If
I'm being realistic, Dave has one of the nastiest receivers in the league in Jefferson, and the nastiest tight end in Kelsey. I think Dave's going to blow me out of the water.
ESPN is projecting this to not even be close. But Paul, do you smell that? I think I'm smelling an upset this week. What about you?
Oh, is that a DJ Moore 30-point bomb coming in?
Oh my gosh!
Baker's gonna pop off against the Saints. One of the top 5 defenses. Doesn't matter.
It's gonna be a roller coaster Sunday for me and Dave.
And I think we're all looking forward to monitor this game. This is our fantasy Footbaps game of the week, brought to you by Mikey B. And this should be a good one. A rivalry that is old as time. All right, now we got our last matchup. We got Dewey, Kyle. Looks like it's shaping up to be a close one. We'll see if Kamara plays for Dewey. Dewey coming off a big win against Mikey B last week. Not his best performance, but Kyle's got a squad. I think Dewey's got a squad. This is, Amon-Ra in the flex is like really good. Paul, do you have anything to say about this? I just think it looks like 2 good teams.
I know. I like Dewey's team a lot. I feel like because he's got Dobbins on his bench too, and Garrett Wilson.
He put up 150 with Kamara out last week.
Yeah, and Garrett Wilson on the bench, all that. So it's just crazy how good his team could be.
Dewey's got a squad. Kyle's projected to win. Mike, who do you think's going to win this one?
Oh, I think Kyle's going to take it.
I I think I might go with Dewey on this one, but I think that this is going to be another really good game. This is also a West matchup.
It's going to be close, but I think Kyle's going to take it.
Yeah, a West versus West matchup. No one wants to be at the bottom of that division. Now, after we go through that, let's monitor a little bit of what's happened in the league. And I just realized that waivers don't go through until tomorrow. But
you can see all my moves, dude.
Yeah, so Paul's just out here making tons of moves, picking up Tyrion Davis-Price, and then dropped him and picked up Kenny Drake. Oh, these are these are your Sunday moves. So yeah, not much.
Davis-Price got hurt anyways.
Yeah, I mean, not much. I do like that you dropped Dino Benjamin and now James Conner's hurt. That's pretty funny.
I know.
But yeah, nothing too crazy going on. Waivers go through tomorrow, so be sure to check Footbap Nation. Check what's going on the waivers. No trades that I know of. Do you guys know of any trades that have been offered?
Dewey, I texted again with no answer. He is not interested at all.
Dewey is not interested in anything you have to offer. He's actually playing the role of you right now. I don't like anyone on your team.
Literally, I'm willing to give Diggs for Swift.
No, you should be. If you're not giving Diggs and Pierce for Swift, Dewey shouldn't even talk to you. That was your original offer week 1, and now you're going back like, what idiot would offer that? That's what you offered.
Diggs is going crazy. That's why.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying when it was my pick, you had picked Diggs before me, and I was like, all right, I'll take Saquon now. But I was thinking if Diggs was there, I was definitely going to take him. But yeah, I mean that's all good. Now, let's go ahead, Mike.
I just thought it was really funny how Paul picked up Elijah Mitchell and then cut him.
Because I was like, I didn't know how long he's going to be out, and then I read some more reports. I was like, oh, never mind.
Yeah,
he's pretty much dead. I mean,
Marquez Valdez Pissling doing absolutely nothing. But yeah, that's the league so far, and now we can go into this week's actual NFL games. Let's go over what happened last week with me and Paul's picks. So just a little recap. Me and Paul both had the Chiefs. We both had the Browns. That sucked. We both had the Giants, Packers, Lions. You picked the Bucks. I picked the Saints. I can't believe that the Saints lost that. It was like 3-3 the whole game. But to be honest, we make these picks pretty early. I didn't know Kamara was going to be out, but I probably still would have stuck with the Saints anyways. And then you picked the Patriots over the Steelers, which my gut was telling me to go with the Patriots, but my mind was telling me to go Steelers. Yeah, we both picked the Colts. I don't think we would have ever picked anything else. I wish I would have went with the Dolphins now. That really sucks looking back because that was one that I was between, but we both picked the Ravens, got it wrong. Both picked the Rams. That was way closer than it should have been.
Brandon, can I interrupt? Can you scroll down?
Oh, well, those are the games for the week coming up. I'm just going over week 2 right now.
I know. No, those are the scores. That's the NFL from last week.
Yeah, I'm going over me and Paul what we picked last week right now.
I don't scroll down and see who won. I just want to see who won.
The scrolling down is just the week 3 games that are coming up, Mike.
Oh, I apologize.
No, you're good. We both picked the Niners. That was a blowout. The Rams was closer than it should have been. Both picked the Bengals. We would have never picked any other way. That's crazy. Broncos, we both picked, but dude, they look like shit. Raiders, we got wrong. Both got the Bills. And then I picked the Eagles and you picked the Vikings, which I wasn't going to say it when we picked it last week. But when you picked the Vikings, in the back of my mind, I was like, Kirk Cousins is like 1-10 in prime time or whatever. Like, I don't know if I can't pick them as much as there are Vikings. So
I was feeling great.
Yeah, so week 1, 10-6. I'm 9-7. We're going to keep like a total tally of the week, but Paul beat me by 1 game this week. Now we're going to go through the week 3 games, and starting off the very first one, Steelers Browns. Paul, who do you think is going to win that one?
I got to stick with the Browns, dude. They can't. If they lose, I don't even know what I'll do, but they have to win, dude. After that, I can't.
I'm going to pick the Browns because I think that the Steelers are going to win, but I think it would really suck if I picked the Browns and they won, and then you picked the Browns and you got it right and I didn't. So that's the only reason why I'm picking the Browns. But Mike, what were you going to say?
Oh, you got to pick the Browns every week.
It doesn't feel right to not pick the Browns. I mean, once it starts getting to like Browns versus Chargers, then I'm not going to pick the Browns. But like in a matchup like this, I guess I got to pick the Browns. But Mike, you're picking the Browns too.
Oh, every week you got to pick them. That's like I get it. You're doing a realistic analysis here, but I would pick them every week.
Steelers ass anyway. Am I right?
Yeah, everyone comment down below that the Steelers suck and that Dave sucks, and we'll drop you a like on that comment. So, and we'll
I'm not
also.
gonna lie. Everyone who comments that Dave sucks, I'll Venmo you $500.
All right, that's a Mikey B
Wow.
guaranteed. So anyone that says that the Steelers suck, you get $500
No,
from Mike himself.
That Dave sucks.
Oh, that Dave sucks. If you say Dave sucks, Mike will Venmo you $500. Our next matchup right here is a piss bowl between Texans and Bears. Paul, who are you going with?
Go with the Bears because it's home, and I don't know. It's gonna be low scoring, so
Yeah,
it's gonna be boring.
I'm just getting like I don't know what to think about the Who did the Texans just play this week?
Yeah,
I'm checking.
Broncos.
Oh
they
yeah, and
barely
they
lost.
played them close, but is that because the Broncos suck or but the
I think the Broncos
Texans
are just ass.
but the Texans tied the Colts too, but the Colts kind of suck
the Colts are
too.
ass too.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
I'm picking the Bears on this one only because it's home. But if it were the other way
Just
around, I
weird.
actually think I'd pick the Texans. But what's up, Mike?
I'm picking the Bears because in a fight between a bear and a bison, a bear would win.
That's actually a really good. I think you just convinced anyone who is thinking of taking the Texans into
I do
picking
like
the
that
Bears
idea.
now. All right, Bills Dolphins, a rivalry. Both teams look good. It's in Miami. Paul, who are you picking?
Bills, dude. They're winning by 30 every game this year.
Dude, Mike, who are you picking?
Brandon, let's be real. If you were going to go into the ocean, who would win? A dolphin or a buffalo?
A Buffalo.
Full of swim, I'm pretty sure.
No, in the deep ocean.
I'd probably pick a Buffalo.
Dude, you're in South Beach, baby. Them dolphins got it.
Oh, them
Damn.
Dolphins got it, baby. You heard it
Fins
from
up.
Mike
Fins
first.
up.
I don't know why they have the Bills winning by so much. It's like a division matchup. It really, I think it'll
I
be
don't know.
closer after that win last week, dude. I don't really know, but I'll go with. What are you saying, Paul?
Bills. Huh? That wasn't me. That was Mike.
Oh, go. What'd you say though, Mike?
I'm sorry, I was coughing.
Oh, I thought you said something. Fuck, man. This sucks so bad. But I'm gonna go Bills because the Dolphins really looked like shit until they came back. So I don't know if what happened in the fourth is like the norm, but a home game for the Dolphins, I might regret that one.
Fins up.
Fins up, baby. All right, Saints Panthers. Paul, who you going with?
I want to say Panthers, but I just think Baker's just against that defense. Like, I don't know. I can't pick them. I have to go with the Saints.
Damn it! I was hoping you'd pick the Panthers. I'm picking the Saints too. Mike, what are you picking?
I'm picking the Saints. I want Baker to lose all the time.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. So we're all going Saints there. I like what if the Panthers win that? Damn it. That would suck. It would be really funny if the Panthers won like 3 games this year.
I mean, what if I won the lottery? I mean,
that'd be cool.
I think I'd stab you in the throat. And steal the money.
Well,
so next up on this list, we've got Raiders Titans in Nashville. Paul, who are you going with?
They're both 0-2, which is crazy. I mean, not the Titans part, but the Raiders being 0-2 is surprising. But I got to go with the Raiders. They're a clearly better team. I'm surprised it's only a 2-point favorite.
That's what I was going to say.
Away game, but
even though it is away, the Titans looked so bad. I'm going to pick the Raiders too. Mike, what do you think you're picking?
In all honesty, I actually have been following the Titans a little bit this year, and I know they've looked like dog shit, so I'm going with the Raiders.
All right, we're all going Raiders. Yeah, it's weird because it feels like the Raiders. I mean, it doesn't even feel like they should. It doesn't feel like they should be 1-1. They shouldn't even be 0-2. That loss to the Cardinals was absurd. Hunter Renfrow like fumbling twice in like 3 plays. That was insanity. I don't even know how that happened. But yeah, I guess we're all going Raiders there. Chiefs, Colts in Indianapolis. I am going Chiefs in that one.
Yep, no question. Moving on.
Mike, you going Chiefs?
Pass.
Oh yeah, and I only say that because I mean, and this is probably obvious to anyone who follows football. The Colts can't finish against big teams. They do well in the regular season. They're a regular season team.
It's the Peyton Manning It's the Peyton Manning curse. He lost like 9 first-round playoff games in his career. So.
Oh, absolutely.
The curse lives on.
Andrew Luck retired before he was 30.
All
This
right,
game though.
this game.
This is the NFC Championship preview. In my
Lions,
opinion,
Vikings. Paul, who are you going
Can you
with?
zoom in?
this is such a hard choice. I love both teams.
I
but-
actually think so. So just because we're not going to talk about the line on all these games, but Minnesota by 6, I'd probably take
That's
the under
crazy.
on that. I'm going to
Oh,
take
yeah.
Vikings to win this because it is home. It's not a primetime game, so you don't have that Kirk Cousins absolutely sucking like in the back of your head. And I think that they'll come out and like want to, you know,
Yeah.
it's like the Rams last week where we were like they're going to want to come out and like they're going to be fired up. So I'm going to pick the Vikings. What are you going to pick,
Yeah.
Paul?
I want to go with the Vikings too. I hope it's a shootout and just it's gonna be awesome. This is the one game I want to really watch.
Yeah. All right, Mike, what are you picking?
Can I make a request real quick for the
All right,
video?
let's hear it.
Can you zoom in slightly
Oh yeah, for
for
sure.
these? For these, I feel like for the viewers, it'll be easier to see. Yeah, there you go.
Where are we at?
And we were at the Lions Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Vikings because a Viking of the old would absolutely kill a lion.
All right, we're all going Vikings then. All right, Ravens, Patriots. Paul, who you taking?
Go with the Ravens. The Patriots barely beat shitty Steelers, so and the Ravens just put up a ton of points.
I'm gonna pick the
they're gonna
Ravens
look for
because I
revenge.
think that the Ravens are pissed at the way that they choked that game. It does suck because it is Belichick. It is in New England. But I'll just go, and I feel like Belichick will like know some like crazy way to completely shut down Lamar or something. But I can't, in good faith, pick the Patriots because I think that they look like a shitty team, basically.
Yeah.
But Mike, what do you think?
To be honest, I think Lamar Jackson. Well, actually, I'm going to tell you, the Ravens are my sleeper pick to win the Super Bowl this year.
Nice, nice. You heard it here first.
Lamar Jackson.
Who are they going to play in the Super Bowl, Mike?
You're going to laugh. I think this is the year we could see a Niners-Ravens rematch.
Oh,
Yeah.
for the people. Who wins
Now
it
that
then? You
Jimmy
think
G's
the
back.
Ravens take it again this year, or is Jimmy G going to win it for the Niners?
Oh, I do think the Ravens take it again.
Wow.
Because, well, no, I said the Ravens are my sleeper pick to win it.
No, I know. No, I'm saying wow because the Ravens beat the Niners the first time. That would really suck as a Niners fan if they lost to the Ravens twice.
So I just think with Watson's big contract, all the noise that Lamar Jackson's making about wanting a nicer contract, he's so motivated and he's so naturally gifted. Combined with that motivation that he has right now, I just think the Ravens have a really great shot of winning it. That's why I'm picking them.
I like it. Who do you think's going to win MVP this year, Mike?
That I think it's too early to call that. Still,
Russell Wilson.
I'm honestly, yeah. I actually,
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
No, in all seriousness, it's too early to call. If I had to call it right now, I don't know. Probably Lamar Jackson.
All right, you're all in on the Ravens this year. Then I
Well,
like
I mean,
it.
he's played. Well, no, he's played like the best player in the league
Ravens
so
fan.
far. So I don't know. I don't know who else would you pick over Jackson so far?
Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, Herbert's played pretty well too. Allen, Herbert. It doesn't really matter. You're right. It is super early, anyways. I was just wondering if you were gonna pick Lamar because you like the Ravens, like to go far. But either way, let's get to the next game.
Yeah,
Bengals,
for sure.
Jets. It's in New Jersey, and I'm going to pick the Bengals, even though.
Ooh.
Oh, you're picking the
Bengals. After that sweet victory by the Jets, I think I gotta take them.
Oh my God. Okay, Mike, what are you thinking?
Oh, it's gonna be the Bengals.
Damn. See, I'm not like confident in it. I'm only taking the Bengals because, like, realistically, like week 1, the Jets got smoked like 24-3. I mean, yesterday, if Chubb, goes out of bounds, or if they don't give up those touchdowns, there was like 10 things that had to happen for the Browns to lose that game, and they all happened. Like, realistically, the Jets could have lost by 2 scores yesterday, and even though they kept it competitive, I don't know if we would have, if me or you even would be like, yeah, that could be a close game. So that's the only reason why I'm going with the Bengals. But I actually think that is a good upset pick to go with. But Mike, you said Bengals too, right?
Yeah, I just think you got to go with talent on this one.
I feel it. All right, Eagles, Commanders. It's Home game
Eagles.
for the Commanders. You're going Eagles?
Easy pick.
Dude, these freaking
I'm
NFC
I'm,
East
pick,
games. What do you think, Mike?
I'm picking the Commanders, man. Wentz is he's up to something this year.
That's what I was gonna say. A part of me wants to pick the Commanders because it is a home game, but I'm picking the Eagles only because I feel like it's like last week. Who did I say last week I felt was gonna have like a classic whatever game? That's how I feel about Wentz this week. Is like this week might be a classic Wentz game where he actually does suck and they lose. So we'll pick the Eagles. Mike, you're picking the Commanders, and now we're on to Jaguars Chargers. This one could like maybe even change depending on Herbert. But if we're assuming Herbert plays, I'm gonna say Chargers.
Yeah, that's an easy one if Herbert plays. So I'll just stick with Chargers.
Yeah. All right, Mike. What do you think?
Oh, the Chargers. I
Okay.
mean, if the Jags win, whatever.
All right. Rams Cardinals. Paul, who are you taking in Arizona?
Going with the Rams because the Cardinals are kind of frauds. So yeah, easy pick.
I'm gonna take. Ooh. All right, Mike. What do you think?
Rams.
Okay. Any analysis on that, Mike?
Reigning Super Bowl champs. I think you gotta go with them.
I think I'm gonna go with the Cardinals just because the Rams sucked against the Bills and then they almost choked that game against the Falcons. And I don't know. I think the Cardinals are definitely frauds, but I'm like it's a division game and it's in Arizona. I mean, I'll take the Cardinals, but
That's
I'm
that's
not
not
really like confident in that, to be
that
honest.
that's not a poor analysis. I'm just going with how early it is in the season.
All right, Falcons Seahawks, Paul. This game
Well,
sucks.
both teams should be 0-2. I don't even trust the Seahawks
They
with their
should both
record
lose.
showing that. I'm easily going with Falcons. I'd bet the house on it.
All right, Mike, who are you taking? Falcons or Seahawks?
To be honest, I hope they both lose. No, I think the Seahawks.
Okay. Is that because they're at home, you think?
Yeah, they're both bad, so yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't know. And the Seahawks they have what's his ass. I don't get why everyone gets such a boner for him. He sucks. The
Who?
quarterback,
Oh, Geno
Gino.
Smith?
Yeah, I
I
hate him.
well,
He's
you
an
think
idiot.
people think he's like really good or something?
Maybe I'm talking too much to the middle schoolers that I teach, but
Oh,
for
so your
whatever
middle schoolers think that Geno Smith is legit? That's pretty funny, actually.
is he, and I can't figure out why. I don't know if he's just like a TikToker or something,
Yeah, I
but
honestly the like I'm gonna pick the Falcons here too, but it's just because I don't know. The Seahawks just got blown out. They beat the Broncos, but they shouldn't have. And the Falcons kind of played some teams close. Like they came back against the Rams. They only lost to the Saints by one. So I'm gonna pick the Falcons. Uh, let's see. Next up, Packers Bucks. It's in Tampa. Paul, who you taking?
It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
hope it's
say
like
this is really tough. It's
this
not
has to
gonna
be
be
like
a high
the
scoring.
4:30 Fox game. You know.
Yeah,
I hope it's
425 Fox.
yeah.
Yep. 41
Um,
and a half over under Tampa
I'm going with
by.
the Bucks though. I'm trusting Brady.
Okay. Mike.
I think Brady doesn't want to lose to Rodgers. I think he takes it personally.
If
Dude.
Chris Godwin comes back though, because Mike Evans is out, so that's actually a tough thing. But hopefully
Yeah,
Godwin
it's tough
comes.
because I was thinking, I took the Saints last week against the Bucks, right? And my whole thought was like the Bucks have like injuries and all this stuff, and I mean Godwin's suspended, but it's like that was my thinking last week, and it like the Saints
Brady,
lost.
Brady will just make someone else look like a superstar.
Yeah, I just don't. I think that I'm gonna pick the Buccaneers, and it's just because like they have such a good defense and the Packers have no passing game and it's specifically a run defense for the Buccaneers that's good. Like if they shut down Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, we might see like what happened against the Vikings, which was like a horrible game for Rodgers. So I'll take the Buccaneers. I think we all
Can
took
I,
the Buccaneers there then.
if I can say this too, 10
Uh-huh.
years ago, Rodgers versus Brady, who would you have picked?
10 years ago, that's really tough. They were both good 10 years ago too.
Well, no, I just mean it's like it's nuts, like how these guys have aged so well. I meant that as a rhetorical question. They've both aged so well. Like
Oh yeah,
this, this would have been a primetime matchup 10 years ago. This is awesome that it's still so great.
yeah.
Right.
All right, Niners Broncos. It's in Denver. Paul, who you taking?
Go with the Niners because the Broncos look just so bad. So gonna stick with that.
Mike.
Niners for sure.
Okay. So both of you guys are taking the Niners. I just don't know if I can trust the Broncos at this point. I wish I could. It's like a home game and everything, but like they just look so bad.
So pick them. This is their chance to prove themselves.
No, I know. I'm saying I don't trust them. That's why if they had
Okay.
played any good in the first 2 weeks, then maybe. But and then the Niners, even though it was against the Seahawks, they did blow them out. But yeah, we all picked the Niners then. And then let's see, Mike, you're up here. Primetime matchup: Cowboys Giants. Who are you taking?
Oh Christ! I might as well flip a coin. Giants.
All right,
Really?
Paul.
Go with the Cowboys, dude. Cooper Rush looks pretty good. Giants are like kind of frauds. Shouldn't be 2-0, but whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Giants just because it's a home game for them. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys win this either.
And that's kind of where I'm at with Brandon. Is like it's a home game. That's why I said I might as well flip a coin. But then I looked and saw it was a home game.
Yeah, Paul, I think you might have picked the favorite in every single matchup this week.
No, I just picked the Cowboys
Oh, okay.
and the
You got
Jets
wait, who did the Jets
and the
play?
Falcons,
Who did the
the
Jets
Bengals,
play?
The Bengals.
Oh yeah,
So
I forgot you picked the Jets. And then
and the Falcons won too.
let's see, the
So-
Falcons weren't favorited. Oh yeah, because it's in
No.
Seattle.
So
Gotcha.
Paul picked the close ones, and he's gonna call himself an. I'm just kidding.
No, the Jets isn't a close one at all. That's a legit. That's a legit upset that you picked right there. Yeah.
I agree. I just like to be the Charles Barkley to Paul Shaquille O'Neal.
All right.
I got 4
Well.
rings.
All right. Well, Mike, thanks for coming on the show, being the first guest on the greatest show of all time. Is there anything you'd like to say to all your fans out there listening?
It was a shitload of fun coming on the show, and I hope other fantasy members make their way on because it's really fun.
All right, Paul, you got
Nice.
anything to say to Mike before he leaves?
Hopefully we see you back here. If we have some kind of crazy shit going on in our season, we'll probably have you back at some point in the near future.
Yeah,
Unless, you know.
if
Yeah.
I
And
win the, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, Mike, before you leave, or before we stop this, do you think you're getting close to assembling the perfect team again this year?
No, I don't.
Wow.
Wow. I
I,
guarantee you
I-
when we have you on like 4 weeks from now, you're gonna say you had the perfect team.
I hope I do. I just right now, I'm not sure how I feel about them. And it's not that I'm not confident in them. I'm just not sure.
All right. And then who are you playing again this week, Mike?
Dave.
Dave. All right. So Dave, you better watch out. Mike's coming for you. He's got the Footbap luck by coming on the show. So
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna hack Dave's team and set his lineup to bad, so I win.
yeah, I love setting that setting from good to bad on people's lineups to make sure you win.
Oh, I do it all the time.
All right. Well, we're gonna sign off here. Thanks again, Mike, for coming on. Paul,
Thank you for having me.
killed it as always. We're actually, before we turn this off, I'm just gonna show our picks real quick. I can't believe this is this small. But yeah, here are the picks, and then we're looking forward to a good week of fantasy. All right, I'll talk to you boys later. Peace, fellas.
Later, boys.